Okay, so if you're thinking to yourself, there's no way that Marissa is actually a beginner in literally everything, like an absolute beginner, you're right. I'm not. I have a little bit of experience in almost every one of the activities that I'm doing. And today I'm just going to give you a rundown on where I'm at in each of them. So, the activities that I am new at for purposes of this channel are running, climbing, the ukulele, interacting with the ocean, surfing, swimming, strength training, and going to a gym, and content creation. So, those are the different activities that I am focusing on. I am selecting down and choosing a few particular activities that I want to work on, and I'm just focusing on those. So, let's take a look. What am I truly a beginner at? And the things that I'm not a true beginner, what kind of background do I have that informs my ability to do these activities? So, running. This is what I would consider to be my main sport. I often say that I'm a runner that dabbles in other things. And I didn't come to running until college when I started doing it just because it seemed like the cheapest way to work out. I started running right about the time that Nike was making those shoes that you had to wear the pedometer insert in. There was like the sole came out of the shoe and there was a little hole where you put the pedometer and then it connected to your iPod. I did train for and run the Chicago Marathon in 2017, but I need to caveat that with a few things. The first is that I was like 26 years old and child free. I'm not interested in running another road marathon. I found the training honestly pretty boring. That is an impressive achievement. I'm really glad I did it and I worked really hard. But I wouldn't count that as like, oh, wow, I'm a marathon runner. That was almost 10 years ago now, and I was a completely different person in a completely different phase of my life. I started trail running in 2020 during the pandemic. A friend suggested that we start doing it just as a way to get outside. She moved away though, and then I had a baby, and so it's been a couple of years since I've gotten back into it, mostly because I am just afraid of being out by myself, and I've sort of been waiting for community to fall into my lap, but that's not going to happen. I've decided. Goals for trail running. Right now I'm training for a trail half marathon. I just want to be able to go out and enjoy it and not wait for other people to be ready to do it. I think my biggest goal would be to do like a big multi-day running adventure, like from hut to hut somewhere. Climbing is the activity that I think is the most fun. It's the one that I enjoy the most as type 1 fun when I'm doing it. In 2019-ish, I started bouldering at a gym near my house. Bouldering is like without ropes and lower to the ground, and you can do it by yourself, which is why that's what I was doing. Again, lack of community is a theme. And then the pandemic happened and I had a baby, and so I took a long break. I am an extremely mediocre climber. I climb maybe V2 boulder problems and like 510B top roping. I don't lead climb. I also only climb indoors. I think my ultimate goal with climbing is just to do it so much that I get comfortable and sort of like lose my fear of falling from the top and start to trust the equipment. And I would like to be good enough that I could learn how to lead climb if I want to. But I'm not sure that I want to. I think I'm happy top roping. Next is ukulele. I don't know if I mentioned this when I listed the things that we're going to talk about, but I am trying to learn how to play the ukulele. I do have somewhat of a musical background, but it's been interrupted for several years. I grew up in a musical family. I did music theater in high school. I thought of being a music theater major for a hot minute. I took AP Music Theory when I was in high school. I played the piano, self-taught. I took voice lessons. So I was like musically involved and it was a big part of my life. But then it was mostly school related. And so then when I wasn't in school anymore and it wasn't structured, I stopped doing it. When I was studying for the bar exam, my partner at the time gifted me a ukulele, just so I would have something to do to, unwind. I really struggle with boredom when it comes to learning the basics. I'm not at a point in my life where I'm looking for ways to fill my free time. I'm like looking for pockets of time to do things that I want to do. And ukulele isn't high enough up on my list, but I want to be a person who wants to do it. I think my ultimate goal with ukulele is to build the habit of playing, and then I think I'll enjoy it a lot more. Strength training is the newest activity to me. I just started literally for the first time. I am a true beginner. I started doing strength training for the first time in September of last year, so about a year ago. And I started working with a trainer who I came to know through social media, and we've been working virtually. Had never been to a gym, really. I had never lifted a weight. There's a side focus here in the program with this trainer where we think about protein and nutrition and thinking about food as fuel, which I also had never really done before. I just thought about like calories in, calories out. And that's really all the thought that I'd given to it. I think my ultimate goal for strength training is functional fitness and increased comfort in being in this space. This is the activity that you'll probably see the least amount of footage of because I feel still like such an imposter in the gym. All right, next is engaging with the ocean, and as like a side, like a sub thing, is swimming. And this is the one that I find the most frightening. I know how to swim, but I don't know how to swim. And by that, I mean, if you like throw me into a pool, I won't drown. I can like struggle through like freestyle down and back. I can float on my back really well. I can like swim underwater. But I don't do it efficiently and I can't do it well. And it doesn't look easy. And if I'm swimming freestyle, I have to stop like halfway down the lane and breathe for a while. And it's really hard to learn how to swim as an adult. And as far as the ocean goes, I grew up along one of the Great Lakes, so I'm not afraid of swimming in open water per se. But I have no idea what to do with the waves. I just don't understand how to interact with the dynamic forces of the ocean. My husband surfs. I would watch him surf and I'm like, this is so great. I just love the ocean so much. I want to be able to interact with it in some way. And this is like the way that you do it in California. So I signed up for a surf trip. Really awesome. And I loved it. I didn't do hardly any surfing because I was still afraid of the waves. But it was a really formative experience for me and I had a lot more confidence after that. I think my ultimate goal is, the bar is very low. I want to confidently surf the whitewash. I'm not trying to be like an epic surfer. I'm not out here pretending like I'm going to be a really good one. I just want to be able to go out and paddle for like the whitewash waves and catch them. Everyone interacts with the ocean in their own way, and I'm not trying to go to Fiji and surf Cloudbreak. And finally, content creation. That's something that I'm brand new at. I never thought I would be doing this. Not because I look down my nose at content creators, but because I never consider myself to be a particularly creative person. But I'm finding I'm really enjoying this. I decided that I was tired of consuming so much content and that I wanted to make some of it and put it out in the world and fill a gap that I thought was not being filled. And I think my ultimate goal with content creation is, honestly, I would love to see it take off and become like a thing, like a business that I can sustain. But failing that, I think that I have something to say that I wish other people were saying. And I know I'm not the only one who feels the way I feel about fear and being overstimulated and accessing some of these things and looking at other people on social media and thinking, you're leaving out a lot. I know there's more to it than this. And just showing that. So if it resonates with people, then I'm happy. And also, it's a set of skills I want to master. Every one of these pieces of equipment is something that I've had to learn how to use. It's been really cool to master that. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. If you would like to see kind of where we go with these activities over the next months and years, then subscribe and like this video. And I hope to see you back here next time. Bye.